What is up, guys? Wrestling Premier is here. The Olympic hero, one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Why? He's a complete package. He can talk, he can entertain, he can be serious, he can be hilarious, everything. Now, Kurt Angle's rise to the top is probably the most astonishing for me on the men's side, probably. I personally think Angle had an even better year than Lesnar, although Brock did main event WrestleMania a couple of weeks after his first year. And Angle, he won a bunch of titles in his first year, so that's why I think it's better. He slowly rose to the top, and yes, best rookie year in my opinion. Ronda Rousey probably takes the cake in general, because I don't think anyone can beat that year. Angle himself said it. Anyways, the rise of Kurt Angle, I really love this story. I've wanted to cover it for several months now. I'm glad I get the chance to do so right now, so yeah. His in-ring skills improved immensely, like right from the moment he debuted all the way up to the end. You wouldn't think this guy was a rookie. In his first match, it'd be hard to believe this guy's a rookie, and the night he won the title, you couldn't believe this guy was on the roster for less than a year. It's unbelievable if you watch his story, basically. If you watch his matches, everything like that, I don't think you'll believe Angle was a rookie. With that said, we've got a lot of WWF 2000 content that is coming, 2001 too, such as Triple H's best year, Eddie in China, Taz's underwhelming run, The Rock's best title reign in my opinion. I would do the Invasion, but that would be a long video, and I really want it to be perfect, so I don't think I could do it at the moment. But yeah, we got a bunch of 2000, 2001 stuff coming soon. With that said, let's get into this video. Kurt Angle, as you probably know, he won the Olympic gold medal in freestyle wrestling in Atlanta in 1996. Angle managed to win the gold medal despite a broken freaking neck. Following the Olympics, Angle got the interest of World Wrestling Federation. They wanted to sign him, and Angle, however, had some outrageous demands, and here are his words back in 2017. And I quote, "In 1996, after winning the gold medal, Vince McMahon said he would like to meet with me. He threw me a contract immediately. It was a 10-year contract. It was more money than I'd seen in my life at that time. I looked at the contract and turned to Vince and said, 'Mr. McMahon, thanks for the offer. I hope you know that I'm an Olympic gold medalist, so if I sign with you, I could never lose.' After that, I didn't hear from Vince McMahon anymore. I didn't understand him. I didn't understand what he was. As a child, my brothers and coaches taught me not to watch professional wrestling. Don't look at that. It's false, and you are real." So yeah, that's what Angle believed at the time. He believed he should have went undefeated, and I find that funny, to be honest. Yeah, he didn't understand at the time, so it's all good now. Angle, I believe, was also pursued by the UFC, but for some reason, he never signed. Many say that he would have done good during the era of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. During this time period, Angle paid a visit to ECW. That visit, though, turned into something else. On October 29th, 1996, of ECW Hardcore TV, Raven decided to crucify Sandman on the ropes. This pushed Angle over the edge. He was considering signing with ECW, that's what it looked like. He had a segment with Little Guido and Taz, and later that night, after Raven did that to Sandman, Angle stormed off, and he threatened to file a lawsuit if he was seen or even mentioned on the episode. He stormed off right when the incident occurred, and this meant there was no ECW run. Anyways, a while later, Angle decided to watch Raw is War. He was so impressed with the athleticism that he decided he wanted to do this. His favorite wrestler was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and so he called up the WWF. He asked to sign that contract, but unknowingly to Kurt Angle, that offer was gone. It was rescinded. But they gave him a tryout. Upon training, Angle nearly quit, but he fought through with grit and determination, and in the end, they signed him in October of 1998. It was a 10-year contract, by the way. Kurt's first official appearance in the WWF came on the March 7th, 1999 episode of Sunday Night Heat. On that night, Tiger Ali Singh provoked the American hero, and he tried to convince him to blow his nose on the American flag for some cash. Angle decided to walk into the ring and showcase some of his in-ring abilities. He refused to take the $5,000, and yeah, that's the segment, basically. He was defending America, I guess. Before getting called up for the main roster, Kurt Angle used to perform dark matches. One of the most notable matches was against the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Owen actually believed that Kurt Angle would become a very great star, perhaps even world championship level, and it's unfortunate that we never got to see this match happen, and there's probably no footage of it available. Like, it's such a shame. With that said, Angle continued to develop in WWF's developmental territories before vignettes finally aired of his in October of 1999. Kurt Angle's Olympic victory was heavily mentioned in the video packages, and he's bragging about his accomplishments, not really in an arrogant way, but the video package made him seem annoying. They were calling him the first real athlete in WWF history, so he's definitely going to be disliked upon his debut. His debut came at the 1999 Survivor Series when he faced Shawn Stasiak, aka Meat, aka son of Stan Stasiak. As for Kurt Angle, Howard Finkel treated him like $1 million. He came out to the Patriots' old theme song. Anyways, Angle showcased his talents. Fireman's carry, takedowns. Some fans were chanting boring by the sounds of it. And yes, it was different from the regular WWF match in 1999, as at that point it was just punch, punch, punch. Doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining, but this was something different. Throughout the match, Angle was dominant in the early going, and the way the match was structured, I felt like he was the babyface. That is until he told the fans to not boo an Olympic gold medalist. In the end, Angle managed to win, and the way he wrestled, pretty good. You wouldn't really think he was inexperienced. He hit the Angle slam for the victory. The fans booed him once again, as they basically seen him as a phony, and the best thing they did was acknowledge the boos. The next night on Raw, Kurt Angle faced a beloved fan favorite, The Godfather. The funny part about this was the fact that Angle was in Pittsburgh that night and he was booed. His hometown booed him. That's how bad it was. That's how bad this babyface character of Kurt Angle's was during the Attitude Era. It wasn't going to work out. You can't just be a good guy. They could see right through it. No one believes this stuff. Godfather tried trading one of his ladies for a gold medal. Angle's response, "I'm here to wrestle." During the match, Angle once again whined. "You're cheering a pimp over a gold medalist? What the hell is going on?" Angle once again utilized his amateur wrestling skills to steer past Godfather after he was distracted by some protester. Over the next couple of weeks, Kurt Angle was still winning matches and he was still booed. He was hell-bent on turning those boos into cheers, but he was clearly failing. Slowly, he turned into an official heel. He was arrogant and he was reliant on his three eyes: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. The fans were buying this good guy shtick, especially in the Attitude Era. So the best thing for Angle was to be a heel, simply put. The Olympic hero didn't show much character initially, but the heel turn changed all of that. Angle built up a 16-match winning streak, singles matches only, heading into the Royal Rumble. He was set to face a mystery opponent, and once again the crowd, the Garden, booed the hell out of Angle. He took a jab at the Knicks, stating that if he waited for them to win a championship, well, we'd be waiting forever. Angle acknowledged the unnamed opponent. He let him know to remember his three eyes and just give it your all against me. Well, about that, Angle was in for a rude awakening. It was the debuting Taz. In the ring, Angle was complaining, but there was nothing he could do about it. Upon the bell ring, Angle was out of this world. It seemed like he was an inexperienced wrestler, and he did weather the storm for a bit, but Taz had too much momentum, and he just couldn't lose. He received a belly-to-belly overthrow from the top rope. Angle nearly lost at the moment, but in the end, Taz locked him in a modified version of the sleeper hold, and Angle passed out. The crowd went insane, and you'd think Angle was the devil himself, or since Taz was from Brooklyn, they were really excited to see him. Upon realizing Taz locked him in the chokehold, the next night on Raw, Warzone, Angle came out to speak about the Rumble match. He believed that his match against Taz was an injustice. He was choked out, and since it's illegal to do that in a wrestling match, he's never lost. He believed that no apologies are needed from Taz because he wasn't raised as well as he was. Taz then came out and Angle tried to do something about the chokehold, but Taz locked him in the same illegal hold once again. He tried fighting left and right, but he just couldn't escape. ECW chants were loud and clear in the arena, and luckily for Angle, he'd get the chance to face Taz and The Rock on the February 3rd, 2000 episode of SmackDown. After Big Show interfered and attacked The Rock, Angle capitalized on this opportunity and he beat Taz right in the middle of the ring. On the following episode of SmackDown, Kurt Angle captured the European Championship, which meant the American hero was now a WWF champion. Stephanie watched on with a smile on her face, and as for Angle, he found himself in a very lucrative situation when he was booked to face Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship at No Way Out. At this point, Angle was a full-fledged heel with somewhat skewed moral values. He was rude, he believed he was good and full of integrity, but what he really was just a jerk, basically. As for the match, Angle used the European title to blast Jericho. He went for the Lion Saw and he covered him to become the new Intercontinental Champion, meaning he is the Euro Continental Champion. Despite celebrating all night, it wasn't he who stood tall at the end of the night, as Jericho and Chyna attacked him and sent him into the trunk of his vehicle. Heading into WrestleMania, Angle continued to boast on about his titles. At one point, he's literally describing what the word Intercontinental meant. Eventually, Bob Backlund began to manage Angle, and he saved him from losing those titles on a few occasions. This alliance, although short, it seemed funny. Angle's already an idiot, and Backlund was his coach, although Angle didn't really need one. The Olympic hero continued to insult the city he's in, and he was slowly gaining heat. This alliance wouldn't even last through WrestleMania, as on Heat before the event, Bob Backlund revealed that it was his idea to have Angle defend both titles against Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho in a two-fall triple threat match. Why? Because he wanted Angle to be the best. So Angle responded by locking Backlund in his own cross-face chicken wing. As for that match, Angle was confident in his abilities, so much that he believed that he needed some security for his title celebration after the match. See? There's no other guy on the roster that was doing something like this. He was just goofy, basically, simply put. About that match, well, it didn't go his way. He lost both titles, and if you want more on that one, check out this video. But yes, Kurt Angle was titleless. Match though wasn't bad. I liked it when I reviewed that WrestleMania 2000 pay-per-view. Angle was whining to the ref after the match about how he was never pinned, and he believed it was an injustice, and looking back, this was all Bob Backlund's fault. Afterwards, Angle never focused on winning one of those titles. He just wrestled in and out every single week. Why was this? Simple. He wanted to focus on beating the Big Show, or in his words, the Big Ass. He was starting to get familiar on the mic, and as for the Backlash match, well, beforehand, Angle came out and compared himself to Washington, D.C. He's comparing himself to the past presidents, and unlike some liars and cheaters, current president at the time, he's the hero the fans need. Now, when the Big Show came out, he was a showster. This was when Big Show was emulating past and present WWF wrestlers. And the match itself saw Angle lose in quick fashion, despite targeting the showster's leg. Big Show channeled some Hulk Hogan. Well, not really, he just channeled himself. He actually won the match using his own move, the chokeslam. Following Backlash, Kurt Angle associated himself with Edge and Christian. To say this group was hilarious would be a massive understatement. At one point, he got the fans to cheer for him in Indianapolis, but then he flipped his opinion on them and they booed the hell out of him. Edge and Christian were certainly masters of this, as you could see here. The topic of that night was about choking. A couple of weeks later, Angle was set to participate in the King of the Ring tournament. The American Hero went through Bradshaw in the first round match, then he beat Bubba Ray Dudley in the round of 16, and at the pay-per-view itself, Angle faced Chris Jericho in the quarterfinal. Before the match, he came out and said that he's going to do something that the Bruins, the Celtics, the Patriots, the Red Sox couldn't do, and that's bring home the big one. Yeah, about some of those, well, they brought a lot of big ones during that decade. Angle then made fun of the Boston accent, saying, "Give me another B," or something like that. And at this moment, I felt like Angle was the finished product. He finally mastered everything. The mic work was there, he knew how to function in a WWF ring, and all was good, and he was much deserving of that push he was receiving. As for how that match went, Stephanie ran down there, she distracted the ref as Angle was tapping out to the walls, and then referee Teddy Long was knocked down. Stephanie entered the ring and she accidentally nailed Angle. Jericho then kissed her, don't know why, I think he was trying to get back at her husband, and Angle rebounded with the Angle Slam, and now he was off to the semi-final, where he was gonna face Crash Holly. Heading into the match, Crash Holly had to go through Bull Buchanan, and he was seen as an overachiever. Crash did try to keep up with the American Hero, and he did nearly win the match, but that wasn't to be. Angle caught him off guard with an Angle Slam to get himself a spot in the final against a wounded Rikishi. Before the match, Angle said that he must win this match, and yes, Rikishi is great if you like dancing around. He then proclaimed that he's going to win the King of the Ring and face Triple H for that title. Now, the story of this one was simple. Rikishi was hurt, Angle wasn't. Throughout the match, Rikishi was resilient despite the right arm, and Angle once again was on the brink of defeat, but the Olympic Hero managed to hit a belly-to-belly off the top rope to win the King of the Ring. He did that celebration where he goes down on his knees. That's a Kurt Angle trope, by the way. So now Kurt Angle is King of the Ring. Now he was even more goofy than previously. The next night on Raw, Kurt Angle's coronation was set to take place, and when Angle came out, he bragged about his victories the previous night, and due to winning King of the Ring, he believed that he deserved a WWF title shot. The new WWF Commissioner Mick Foley straight up made fun of the grown man in a crown. He booked Angle and Triple H in a match against The Rock, with the winner facing the Great One himself for the title. But if Rock wins, he doesn't face either of them. About the match itself, well, Angle and Triple H failed to win this one. Jericho interfered, he attacked Triple H, and so Rock doesn't defend the title against either of them. Following this, Angle shifted his focus to winning matches. After winning a matchup against Chris Jericho, Angle decided to celebrate the victory by throwing stuff around. He was drinking and splashing milk when he realized that the motorcycle behind him was doused in milk. Mideon informed him that it's the Undertaker's bike, and so Angle ran the hell out of there. 2 minutes later, he found a cab and left the arena. When Taker found out what went on, well, he had a disgusted look on his face. And Mideon snitched, and I blame him for all of this. If it wasn't for Mideon, The Undertaker may have never found out. On that week's Raw, The Undertaker called out Kurt Angle. He believed that Angle calling himself an American hero is a big load, and the reason why he's got an issue with Angle is not only because of the bike thing, but because Kurt himself, 3 days earlier before the bike incident, cost him the tag titles. When Angle came out, well, he came out a bit worried for himself. He apologized for costing Taker the title match and for soiling the motorbike with milk. And like they say on the streets, my bad. Okay, tell me that isn't Carlton Banks. Angle believed that a main event match between themselves shouldn't be in St. Louis, and maybe it should have it at Fully Loaded. Angle then backtracked on his statement, and he believed that nobody wants to see this match. The fans booed Angle, and he believed that they were booing at the thought of this match actually happening. He gave us a comparison of The Undertaker and himself. He said that he, the American hero, is held in the highest regard. He asked for Taker to clean up his image. He also had a gift for the American Badass. When Angle came out, it was something. He brought out a scooter for The Undertaker. Now, personally, I'm shocked Taker never coursed. He wanted Taker to accept his gift and ride what a real American rides. Taker threatened to beat Angle's teeth so far down his throat that he'll be able to chew his own ass. Angle ran away, his bike suffered some sort of malfunction, and he ran straight to the back. Taker then threw that scooter off the stage, and overall, a hilarious segment. Angle was so damn goofy, and you can't help but laugh at the stuff he did. He had this innocent mindset, he didn't know what was going on in the world. He had this different perspective of it, and the fact that he had a helmet on too, what the hell? I can't say anything bad about this. It was too much. And with all of this going on, Kurt Angle was sending flowers to Stephanie. Triple H began to get paranoid, and a few seconds later, we find Angle running away from The Undertaker. He managed to best Taker and blast him with an iron, and as for the guy who sent flowers, it was not Kurt Angle. It wasn't him. It was Chris Jericho. As for his match against Taker, he was a bit worried. The match itself wasn't really memorable, at least to me, as they worked in much better matches together a few years later, but for their matches in 2000, But a positive from this one is that the crowd seemed really interested in it. So maybe it wasn't so bad after all. I did watch it before, but I didn't really like it at the time. Angle, he was punished. He received a last ride and he lost. But he bounced back really quickly, as after Fully Loaded, Kurt Angle was involved with one of the most memorable storylines of 2000. Now, I'm not going to cover the entire thing here as it would be off. For example, say I do cover it. I'm not going to get the segments and the whole story there, but long story short, Kurt had feelings for Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H slowly began turning into a tweener. It all came to a head on the August 24th episode of SmackDown, as Kurt Angle won a coin toss, which meant he was Stephanie's tag team partner. And damn, the situation between the Game and the Olympic Hero, it was volatile. Triple H knew exactly what Angle was doing. By the end of the night, Angle kissed Stephanie. Looking back, oh my god, this had too much drama in it. Anyways, at SummerSlam, both Angle and Triple H challenged for the WWF Championship. Beforehand, Stephanie actually praised Angle's kissing skills. Triple H confronted Stephanie about it. She blamed Kurt. She said that he took advantage of her when we know damn well what was actually going on, and she was speaking about it earlier that night. Later on, Kurt called Stephanie. She made it seem like she was speaking with her mother. The Game then wanted to speak with her mother. She or he hung up, and damn was this crazy. Then they went out there and destroyed one another. The crowd was fully into it, 110%. Triple H told Stephanie to stay away from Kurt. She didn't. She came out. Triple H tried to use a sledgehammer. His wife passed him. He failed. He accidentally hit his wife. Angle used the sledgehammer on Triple H, and Rock hit the people's elbow. Now, I personally don't agree with people saying the Attitude Era was overrated. It really is the best era in my opinion. It's not my favorite era, but the stories were full of heat. They were engaging, and I always had fun going back to this era. Just this pay-per-view, the crowd was loud and really into it, and this is something you won't see nowadays. And I'm not saying, oh, WWF's better, news sucks. It's just this atmosphere is gone. It doesn't really happen that often, and when it does, it's great, but still. This used to happen on a weekly basis. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think Attitude Era is the best era. It was full of drama, full of stories. There was good matches like this one. So yeah. And despite Rock retaining the title, Angle's worries were elsewhere. After Rock walked to the back, Angle decided to carry Triple H's wife, Stephanie, to the back. What's his mindset? You tell me. It's simple. He wanted her. That's it. After this, Triple H was about to erupt. It was a volatile, explosive situation. Eventually, this feud culminated at Unforgiven in a no disqualification match. Up to this point, Stephanie was unaware of Angle's stance towards her. She thought he was a friend until Triple H opened up her eyes. She finally made her choice during the match when she kicked Angle in the groin to cost him the match. Triple H then delivered a kiss that may have busted Steph's lip. Now, there was a bunch of stuff in the story that happened, but I can't put 20 minutes of stuff into 3, plus it wouldn't be right for this video. Now, another thing to mention is that the story was actually going to end with Angle taking Stephanie away from Triple H, but the Game vetoed this idea as it wasn't believable for Kurt to take his wife. Now, this is a rumor once again. It wasn't from Angle himself or Stephanie or Triple H, but this is the rumor that I've heard for years. So yeah, that's it. I personally think the story would have been even better had that happened, but the Game didn't want it to happen if the rumor's true. Anyways, Kurt Angle actually focused on the WWF Championship, not Stephanie this time around. On the October 2nd, 2000 episode of Raw, The War Zone, Kurt Angle, with the help of Chris Benoit, won the right to face The Rock at No Mercy for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Heading into the pay-per-view, Stephanie became Angle's business partner, and there was no feelings between the two parties. She never disliked Kurt Angle or anything like that. She just did that because Triple H forced her to make a choice. She proved to be a very valuable asset as he managed to beat Kane in their first match together. Triple H didn't understand this, and Stephanie wanted to do this because she wanted to help. Triple H didn't want her help, so she decided to help someone else. Also, Stephanie was hell-bent on making Kurt Angle the WWF champion, so she could be seen as someone who's successful, I guess. Also, once again, fireworks were about to explode between Angle and Triple H, but the game had a little talk with him on the final Raw before No Mercy. He threatened Angle, stating that if something happens to Stephanie, it's his ass, and if this is anything other than business, well, Angle's gonna have it coming to him. As for the match at No Mercy, not bad, it was entertaining. Rock and Angle's matches are pretty underrated by me. I never really mentioned them, and maybe they are underrated in general, because I don't hear about them either, but yes. Once again, excellent matchup. I recommend you watch it. It's one of those Attitude Era matches, and that's not exactly a bad thing. It was dramatic. Rock actually had the match won at one point, but Stephanie interfered, and she received the Rock Bottom. Rock even tried the People's Elbow, but Angle was there for the save. Triple H then assaulted Angle before pedigreeing the Rock. Then, if things weren't crazy enough, Rikishi, a broken Rikishi, received the biggest ass kicking of 2000. You can check out this video. Made his way out there in order to help his cousin. Angle and The Rock went back and forth before the Great One hit a devastating Rock Bottom. Angle, though, managed to kick out after Rock struggled to go for the cover. Rikishi then entered the ring and he accidentally splashed and kicked The Rock. Angle then performed the Angle Slam on Rikishi before hitting the Olympic Slam, same thing, on The Rock. 1, 2, 3. He's champion. Kurt Angle is the World Wrestling Federation champion. He's shedding tears of joy. He went down on his knees again, and overall a very entertaining match and an entertaining year for Kurt Angle. He certainly deserved to win the title. Angle had all the tools to be a main eventer. The in-ring skills, the mic skills, the charisma, everything. And for me, I'd say he had the best men's year in WWE history. I just prefer his over Lesnar's, although Brock did main event WrestleMania a week after reaching a year in the company, so technically Angle had a better year. But yes, Kurt Angle had great promos, great rivalries, and great matches. So for me, best rookie year ever. Eventually, I will cover his title reign that included the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match, that Trish partnership, and his title loss to The Rock, and also that face run he had in 2001 where he was mega over. He was really over. I personally believe he was the biggest star in the company, even bigger than The Rock at one point, like September-ish, October-ish 2001. So yeah, overall, one of the best rookie years in WWE history. And yeah, Angle, he just clicked. It was so easy for him to just go in there and have a great wrestling match, cut a promo, everything. They didn't really need to aid him, and the 1 year he had felt like 3 years for a normal person, basically. What do you guys think about Kurt Angle's rookie year? Please comment down below what you think of the rookie year, as I personally think it's the best rookie year in WWE history. So that's your first video. Make sure you hit a ankle lock on the like button, and perhaps the Angle Slam on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.